This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
And let's start you right off tonight with the wrestling. Quincy High Invitational semifinals today. 106 pounds, Ashton Myers versus Collinsville's Javon Pergo, aptly named because Ashton would make flooring out of him in this one. Immediate takedown. Then midway through the first period, Ashton becomes a tilt-a-whirl, grabbing all kinds of back points like there was no resistance against him. In fact, just masterful work. You see him not once, not twice, but 3 times in the first 2 periods, grabbing the 3 points for the back points and the near fall. And finally up 14-2 right here. Ashton secures the tech fall victory to move on into the finals. Meanwhile, we move up to 113 pounds. You're looking right there at Brett Hamill, the young freshman who pins Macomb's Cale Lawyer and wins in the first period very quickly. Brett's teammate, Will Lucy, right here at 126 pounds, taking on Altov's Javon Hay. Will up 5-0 in a hard scrabble match, but finally forced Hay into a mistake and overpowered him right here. Oh, what a great win for Will as he gets the pinfall victory, all fired up. He would move into the finals later in the day as well. High drama match of the day. Quincy High, 160-pounder Josh Culp. Money in the back, down 1-0 after the first 2 periods to Zach Bronigal of Althoff. Cup with the reversal right here for Mr. Culp. He goes up 2-1. Then Broniger reverses him again to go up 3-2. Broniger up 5-4 with 20 seconds left in the match, but Culp just overpowers the kid. A little bit of core pressure right there to hold on, hooks the kid's legs, and puts that core pressure on him to get the takedown. With 10 seconds left, he gets control and wins the match 6-5 to punch his ticket into the finals as well. We've got one more to show you from the semifinals. Bizarre match today at 182. Nice win, Mr. Culp, by the way. Bizarre match at 182 for unbeaten Logan Hagerbomber. It took him 2 periods to figure out Jacob Lovell of East Peoria, but once he did, it became a 3rd period takedown fest for Mr. Hagerbomber, or Bomber to his friends. He just went nuts. Catch and release in this one. Takedown, let him up, trading 2 points for 1 point. He did this to the ridiculous tone of 25 points on the day. Ended up winning the match 25-11 in an absolute beatdown and just a real show of his superiority. So all of the wrestlers I mentioned on into the finals. Let's take you to the highlights of the finals from later in the afternoon. And we'll start you off at 106. QND's Ashton Myers ranked 4th in the state in his weight class, taking on Trenton Finch of Mascoutah. Myers confident from the jump in this one. He secures the early takedown here and just kept improving from that point forward. He's up 3-0 with the escape point right here, back to neutral, and then the race is just on for him. He's a 160-pounder or 106-pounder you simply can't ride, and his takedowns not too shabby either. We talked about his ability to tilt his opponents. He did that quite effectively all day long, even in that championship match. What a squash this was, winning his match 16-0 with the tech fall. Moving up to 120, Quincy High School's Trevor Schutte ended up defaulting his way into the finals, took a 4-1 lead into the end of the first period, actually into the second, against Brennan Swafford, but ended up losing a heartbreaker 5-4 here. As you see, Mr. Schutte with the takedown. That's where he took the lead. Unfortunately, got away from him late. 182 pounds. Wow, 27-0, Logan Hagerbomber again. He's doing the same thing against Triad's Alex Crehan, another takedown. He'd cut him, and then he'd just go back to work on him. Hagerbomber on an unstoppable roll. He's just really ridiculously good today. The only Quincy High wrestler to take first place. Nice to win on the home mat. Big one for him as he wins a 14-4 decision and takes down his man one more time to get that done. As you can see, Logan pretty fired up. That was a great match. Most exciting match, though, taking place right across the mat, giving me whiplash at 126 pounds. Unbeaten Will Lucy of West Hancock against undefeated Chase Swafford of a really good Meepo team. Gritty, intense match. Escape in the second for Will, gave him a 1-0 lead. The takedown there made it 3-0, and that is how this match would end. Pretty much Will rode this kid out for the last 2 minutes of the match. And Will Lucy, when he sets his mind to things, pretty much unbeatable, as he proved today, beating an undefeated opponent, taking first place, as did Logan Hagerbomber. Our congratulations to all the wrestlers, the 3 of them who won their titles today. But we're not done. We had some second place finishes to tell you about as well today as we go to the scoreboards there. Brett Hamill, the young freshman we showed you earlier from West Hancock, took second place on the day, as did Quincy High's Mr. Money in the Bank, Josh Culp. Big time doings for him as well. Let's talk some Missouri wrestling today. We had at the the St. Charles West Invite today. Kind of a strange day for the Pirates, but they did get one champion through a loaded field today. That is your 220-pound reigning state champion, Kyle Muring. Strangely enough, Chandler Foley with rare losses today, 2 of them, as he ended up taking 4th place. Austin James also with a 4th place finish as well, so congratulations to those guys as well. Big showing today from the KHQA Chief Wrestlers as they ended up with 3 guys winning titles in their respective weight classes. Our congratulations to Brant, Cam, and of course to Dakota Shaw at 182, who ended up winning as well. The big tragedy of this wrestling season, earlier in the season, Dakota Shaw was injured when the Chiefs were supposed to wrestle Quincy High, so we were denied a Logan Hager Bomber Dakota Shaw match. That is about as good as it could be in our area, and that's unfortunately, we're not going to get a chance to see it. Also, congratulations to Tyler Biting, who finished 2nd today for the Chiefs. As I told you, really good showing for Tommy Rose's team. Tyler Biting finishes 2nd today at 160. Let's do some basketball now. Illini West versus Keokuk in the final. Oh my goodness, look at that pass. The finals of the Hancock County Tournament. Great pass from Nate Palmer. Eventually, he doesn't even get an assist on that. Ends up in the hands of Braden Bennett, who cans the 3, but Nate Palmer made that play possible. Later, the 3-point bomber, Colton Mellinger from outside knocking down a 3. Keokuk gaining some traction against this eventually, but Illini West doing its best not to let that happen. Braden Bennett again, swipe and swoop at the other end. He had 28 points on the day. Keokuk comes back in this one, though. Colton Marlin, you know him from his work as an outstanding wide receiver. This is a pretty take as well. Scooping one to the hoop. Then Johnny Dahl makes his presence felt and makes it felt really well in this one. He got to the cup at will in this game, getting to the rim anytime he wanted to. Huge night for Dahl. More from Johnny right here. This is why he's an All-Stater and a Player of the Year candidate and a Division I kid. Wow, what a take for him right there. Going to Stephen F. Austin, great take for him. Braden Bennett, though, going to answer at the other end. As I mentioned, he had 28 points. Dahl just a bit better in this one with 32. Keokuk, wow, what a tightly contested match this turned out to be down the stretch. Dahl not only hitting jumpers, but creating for his teammates, this time to Stephen Boyd with a pretty blind assist. Easy bucket for Mr. Boyd. Dahl, though, the story of the game with those 32 points. Keokuk wins by 1 to take the county tournament title. 70-69 was your final there. Also, earlier in the day, it was Southeastern knocking off Unity 56-43. Shea Flessner leading the way for the Suns in that ball game with 23 points. Let's take you down to Jerseyville. Opening round, Pittsfield taking on Alton Marquette. Quinn Leahy and company playing some of their best basketball of the season in this event today at the expense of Alton Marquette. It starts with Reese Ramsey atop the key, hitting the feathery jumper, and away we go. Saukeys in this one. Corbin Personette inside. He's got the full range of the game. The short little turnaround jumper is good from him. Then Quinn Leahy with the up and under move, breaking away from the guard coverage and kissing one off the glass here. Pittsfield up by 4 at that point. They're going to extend. Jonah Molesky, boy, he's got a nice mid-range game and a long-range game to boot. 3-pointer for him. Second half, Pittsfield kept hitting shots in this one. Molesky again, long-range jumper. Corbin Personette, really nice day as well today, leading his team in a low-scoring but effective win over Alton Marquette. That Brad Tomhave defense all over it today. 44-35 was your final. On the night shift, Quincy Notre Dame taking on the host team. That would be Jerseyville. Ben Welper and company trying to bounce back from an ugly, ugly loss at Sacred Heart Griffin last night. Brian Copley, he's got the range on this one, likes the favorable rims in this particular gym. And then the Raiders going to work in this game in what was a nip and tuck game throughout. Carter Cramsey hooking up with Justin Bodorf at the other end. Nice bucket for him. Bodorf then playing distributor, this time hooking up with Jacob Mayfield, whose sore back is apparently really doing well, because that's a nice bucket as well. More transition fun from the Raiders off the bench. Austin Ritter hooks up with Mr. Tanner Stuckman, who kisses one high off the window. Unfortunately, Jerseyville down the stretch built a big lead. Quincy Notre Dame tried to cut it a number of different times, had a shot to try to get things done at the end, but Jerseyville too strong in this one. They end up winning by 3 in this ball game. 54-51 was your final. How about the Winchester Invitational today? This is your third place game between Payson Seymour and Griggsville Perry. Joseph Myers making the all-tournament team. Tell you what, Payson, it was sort of a by committee effect yet again today. Carter Epperson with a steal here. Going to find Mr. Nick Ketters, and that, my friends, is really good stuff right there. Ketters then working the alley-oop action. This time, to great effect. Those are the hands of Mr. Hunter Flessner, who finishes that up nicely. Griggsville Perry trying to respond with some defense of their own in this one. Riley Bradshaw with the steal and the lay-in the other end, but it is still a 7-2 run for Payson out of the gate. Drew Burwinkle, what a great game for him. Catch and release action right here. He had 19 points on the day to help lead his team. Griggsville still trying to fight its way back into this one. Skylar Miller as improved as anybody in the area. Great defensive chops right there. Gets the lay-in. Just too much Payson Seymour down the stretch, though, as the Indians win and take third place. 53-34 was your final. Fifth place game. What a showpiece today for Michael Mast. He had a monster day. We'll get to him in a second, though. Good balance from Liberty at times all season long. And when it happens, it includes this guy, Tayton Rowe, who can fire the three. He's requited early as Liberty's going to build a big lead on Calhoun, and they're really not going to relinquish it at any point in this one. Rowe to Mr. Michael Mast for the three right there. Cole Wellman showing some chops in the down low right here. Fighting through the paint, getting down right here, and giving Liberty, well, bringing Liberty back to within four as Calhoun built the early lead, I should say. Second half, it was all Liberty. Mr. Mast on the takeover in this one. The blueprint says he's good, and he was good indeed. Driving the lane, one-handed there. Calhoun pulls back within five at this point as Blake Booth knocks down the three. Mast, though, with 32 points on the day, including the and one right here with a ridiculous contortion at the other end. Liberty wins, 76-62 was your final. Not really a fun consolation game today because it was rather lopsided. Well, it was fun if you're a Camp Point Central fan, as they would dismantle the host squad, West Central, in this game. Jeff Abel's team not used to losses like this one. Taylor Hyman had himself a game in this one. 23 points, including the three-pointer right there. Central up 30-7 when Taylor Hyman goes back to work, this time showing that he can play with his back to the basket as well. Hyman with a full range of highlights in this one. How about some baseline jumper? This is like his resume tape, if you will. Good jumper for him. West Central trying to fight back in this game. They couldn't hit a shot today. Just one of those days where nothing goes right. Trevor Cawthon, though, with a nice inside move there. Then Tyler Strohaker with a three-point play right here. Actually, check that. Make it a four-point play as he was fouled in the act of shooting, but Central seals this one and wins big. 46-18 behind those 23 points from Taylor Hyman. One more score to pass along to you today from tournament action. It was Porto winning the Winchester Invitational on the night side by 3, beating Carrollton 52-49. In Macomb tonight, the Macomb Bombers taking on West Central. Good win for Jeremy Anderson's squad tonight as they would take apart West Central and do it with great team balance in this game. Already up, Damone Doyle had himself a heck of a night. Great pass from Jacob Billiter. And Mr. Doyle with 11 points to help lead the affair. Jacob Billiter, I mentioned him. I mentioned Damone Doyle. They've got a good sharing sort of, symbiosis going right here, if you will. Good passing right there from Doyle to Jacob Billiter, who had 12 points in the game to lead his team in scoring. Good bucket. More to come from the Bombers, which kind of had their way with West Central in this game. Grant Hannett, bucket, Band-Aid, and three-point play for 3 of his 9 points on the day. We'll finish up with a buzzer beater here from Ty Dively to cap off what was a rather lopsided Macomb win in this ball game. The Bombers up 60-32 to finish off West Central. Finally, Quincy homeschoolers today winning 3, going 4-0 on the weekend. They beat the Omaha Lightning behind 37 points from Jordan Hickman today. Hickman also good in his game against Illinois Impact with a team-high 18 points. Best day of the day, though, belonged to Ben Kasula, who recently celebrated a birthday, I think just a week ago. Had 30 points on the day in Quincy homeschool's win over Greater St. Louis Academy. Kasula with 30 points and 7 three-pointers as we advance the scoreboard twice. There you go. And big time win in that one in favor of the Quincy Saints. 106-85 was your final in that ball game. And we'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. All right. Rule of thumb, let's not mess with the things that don't matter. Okay. So if the ticker didn't come up and we can't do it, instead of messing with that, make sure you have a shot of me going into the show. Okay. And if you don't, we'll just adjust and go to 2.
I'm going to do camera 2.
Just do it all on 2 tonight.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back, everybody. Didn't get a chance to do it at the top of the show. So this is Saturday, January the 17th, and you have entered overtime. Thanks for joining us tonight. Didn't feel right without doing that. And away we go. There are two teams that have shown enormous potential in spots this season, but neither the Illini West nor Central Southeastern girls squads have been able to summon that kind of elite play consistently enough to win to their ceilings. Would tonight's head-to-head matchup for the Lady Panther Classic Championship, would that prove the difference in this ball game? Illini West, Camp Point Central going at it tonight for all the marbles, and this was a fun game from start to finish. Low-scoring affair, and what a reception line. Tell you what, the Central kids do it upright. Good start in this game for Colby McClellan, trying to establish her presence in the low blocks early, but really the early takeover was done by this young lady, Michaela Gronwald, who couldn't have been more hot. Started with a three there. She's not done. This time the Josie Finch assist leads to another long three, and if you're going to leave Michaela Gronwald open, she's going to knock down jumpers. More to come in this one. Great bit of defense right here. Ends up with the steal for that young lady, Aubrey Carlisle, and the unselfish dish back to Miss Michaela Gronwald, who had a monster night tonight. Plenty of assistance in this game as well. Check out Aubrey Carlisle working the offensive glass, getting a steal, a putback. We'll even give her an offensive rebound for that, although I'm not sure if she actually got it. It was a great take for her. Elena Vance with a pretty nice night for Central. She was the answer offensively for Matt Long's team, but Illini West too strong in this game. More from Aubrey Carlisle here with a nice steal and the deuce at the other end as the Chargers end up winning the tournament. 49-43 was your final in that ball game. Elsewhere on the scoreboard today, third place went to the Havana Ducks, who beat South Fulton 55-42. Shout out tonight to Mr. Carl Beebe, because his wife tells me he likes to hear his name on the news. So, Carl Beebe, sorry you lost today, but we're looking after you, guy. How about some more scores for you from the North Green tournament today? It was Western beating Greenfield Northwestern 57-47. That score reversed. Western is your winner today. Blair Barrowman in that game with 19 points, the outstanding freshman. Also today, Rout knocks off Griggsville in the consolation championship 42-30. And how about a win for Payson Seymour? Yay, ladies, well done as they break into the win column with a 55-49 defeat of Triopia. Brecken Flessner on the day with a monster 24 rebounds in that victory. Let's do some college men's basketball. UMSL versus Quincy. Oh, wait, I forgot the Quincy Notre Dame scores. I will give them to you. The Lady Raiders splitting on the road today at Galesburg, losing to a really good U-High team, 58-41, but bouncing back and winning a thriller down the stretch thanks to the heroics of Miss Mackenzie Foley, who helped her team to a victory. Final count in that one as we advance the scoreboard again. Over Peoria Central, 60-59 is how that would end up. Now on to men's college basketball. Quincy University at home trying to rebound against UMSL, who's really good after that heartbreaking loss the other night in Maryville. Ridiculous first half. Godson Inagwe misses, but there's Thomas Jackson for the putback. It's good. And then Mr. Jackson showing off the long-range artillery, and all of a sudden Quincy University could not miss. Nate Desjardins from outside, long-range three, splashes that home as well. Scotty Bruxfort coming free as well as Nate Desjardins going to find him. They're going to call Scott Bruxfort for hanging on the rim with a technical. Marty Bell didn't even care, nonplussed, but the fans, they would let the officiating crew, they didn't agree, vehemently disagreed with that decision. Josh Shabon inside. Pretty nice take for him right there. Then Scotty Hahn knocking down jumpers from long range as well. Had a couple of big threes in this one. The best first half of basketball we have seen all season long from the Hawks. They just annihilated UMSL, who's, as I mentioned, a really good team. Big time win for the Hawks today. 81-64 was your final. Good win, good bounce back from Marty Bell's crew. Also on the men's docket today, John Wood loses a heartbreaker in overtime at Rend Lake. 72-68 was your final. HLG gets beat by 23 by Park. Peru State had the lead late on Culver Stockton, but the Wildcats rally, win in OT 109-101. Trayvon Mitchell with 31 points off the bench, for the Cats. Illinois College felled by Beloit today despite 17 points from freshman Cody Hildebrand out of Payson Seymour, and a big-time win for McMurray today on the road at Greenville. The pride of West Central, Dylan Guthrie, with 16 points in the victory. On the ladies' side, it's the return of former Quincy High star Jordan Fletcher today, playing for UMSL. Fletcher with 6 points on the day, including these two right here before fouling out late in the ball game. QU's bigs, though, were particularly strong against whoever UMSL threw against them, and that started with Erin Menemeyer, who's been a revelation off the bench and who gave her team a great pick-me-up boost early in this game. Again, Erin Menemeyer right here with the scoopage and the nice shot, the pretty take from her at this point. How about some more from the Lady Hawks, this time in transition, as it would be Kara Gerbis on the run out, wide open, running free, and that's a nice bucket off the assist from Carly Beebe. More from Erin Menemeyer as well. I told you, she was big early on, setting the tone. I think she finished with 11. Didn't see a final box yet, never received one, unfortunately, but I can tell you she had a big day. Sierra Young right there on the inside. Oh, this is Menemeyer again with a nice take as well. Apologies on that. That was Carly Betancourt with one-woman break earlier. Miss Sierra with a great take right there. All Quincy University in this ball game. That's what you need to know in the first half. They hold on and win today in the second half by the final count of 80-73 was your final there. How about the Culver-Stockton women trying to jumpstart a new win streak after the loss earlier this week on Thursday? They would take advantage of a struggling Peru State squad to do exactly that. Brianna Marzetti with the best day of her career scoring-wise, had 15 points, including the take right there. Good day as well from Nikki House, who had 11 points, which ties a career high, and 11 rebounds. Great feed from TJ Hart to make that happen. Miss Hart was doing it of her own accord as well right here. Check out the nasty contortion in the lane from the point guard, breaking things down and finding her way to get one off and knock it off the glass as well right there. Hart also distributing nicely, as I mentioned. Lara Kubinski, I said, with a nice bucket right here off the assist from Miss TJ Hart. Again, more from Nikki House, as it would be a big lead early for the Culver women, and they would not relinquish that as well. 11 points, 11 rebounds from Nikki House in the victory, and we'll leave you with TJ Hart doing some work in transition as the Wildcats pick up yet another victory. Final count in this one in their favor, 65-48. On the women's scoreboard today, HLG a winner over Park. Western Illinois felled in a heartbreaker by Oral Roberts in Tulsa. Ashley Luke, though, big day in that loss with a double-double there. And Southeastern Community College stays red hot, improving to 13-5 on the season. We'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. How much time I got? Okay, how much time do I have before we're up? Okay, I'll be right back. Straight out to video on this one. Okay. I'll get through this break fast and we'll finish. Thank you. Yeah, that is correct. we were kind of struggling a bit this week for a Con Communications Connection nominee, and then Illini West Nate Palmer went tonight and did us a solid. Check out that assist again. Actually, kid doesn't even get credited for the assist. That goes to Nolan Ard, but this saves the play, and this is a pretty no-look wraparound pass. Wow, just magical type stuff, like out of the Jason Williams playbook there. Good stuff from him, and that is your latest third nominee for the month, and a pretty darn good one from Mr. Nate Palmer. If that is your favorite at the end of the month, you can go to the KHQA website and vote for it among our nominees, and anyone who votes is instantly put in for a blind drawing for a prize package, a nice prize package from Con Communications. Your earlier nominees thus far from this month both come from the Gem City. Parker Bland with a big-time slam dunk. And speaking of big-time slam dunks, it was Herm Senor and Godson Inagwe who had that big hookup at Illinois Springfield on the alley-oop jam as well. So some pretty good nominees thus far in the month of January. I think we've got 2 more for you, and then it will be time to vote that first week of February. And we'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. Yes. Yeah, do I have 15 seconds? Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that happens. That's the business, my friend. Yeah, that happens as well. Welcome to small market television. It's going to happen, no big deal. We survived. Well, in lieu tonight of the Burris Hybrid Seeds of Greatness, just a quick shout out to Keokuk sophomore Mackenzie Peasley, who played an awesome game last night against Fort Madison. I failed to mention her last night. Wanted to get that shout out because she was really pivotal with her hustle plays. And now we're all out of time, everybody. We've got wrestling coming up next. The debut on Ring of Honor of Jake Dirty Durden, the pride of Pittsfield, Mr. Brad Fox. It's next. Enjoy the wrestling.